It's time for Six-Figure Trucking Period 24. Let's take a look at my compensation as a W-2 company driver. First, we're going to talk about my logs for the week. I was paid for 2,398 dispatch miles. I had 2,202 logged miles. My utilization this week was 88%. The day in orange, I was on a paid 34-hour reset. The day in green, I was on home time. My unedited pay statement for period 24 of 2024. This includes all trips from June 2nd to June 8th. The first trip this week started at the Fort Recovery, Ohio terminal and ended in Kinston, North Carolina. It had 5 stops in Virginia, including Charlottesville, Midlothian, Richmond, and Norfolk. It paid $826 for 929 miles. The second trip this week started in Kinston, North Carolina, and ended at the Fort Recovery, Ohio terminal. It paid $400 for 654 miles. The third trip this week started at the Fort Recovery, Ohio terminal and ended at my home in Shadydale, Georgia. It had stops in Duluth, Gainesville, Ackworth, and Ellenwood. It paid $642 for 815 miles. Empty miles paid $175. Securement paid $76. The 34-hour reset paid $100. Loaded miles paid $1,303, and stops paid $214. Total earnings this week was $1,868. We keep hearing that across the industry, drivers are getting less miles and making less money. I'm one that believes in hard numbers rather than anecdotal information. Here's a comparison of my miles and compensation for the last few years. This looks at compensation through week 24 of each year. 24 weeks into the year, my gross income is $50,869. And I've driven 65,261 miles. This averages out to $2,120 per week and 2,719 miles per week. Estimating that out over a year, I'm on track to earn $110,215 for 141,388 miles. Through week 24 of 2024, I have been loaded 92% of the miles, and 14% have been hazmat placarded miles. This is a map of the miles per state year-to-date. This is a map of the miles per state year-to-date in which I've driven. There were no new states added to the map this week. Here's the home time that I've taken this payroll year. I've been home 9 times so far this year, totaling 29.4 days. I've also had 13 paid 34-hour resets on the road. I'm not paid hourly, but let's calculate this like an hourly job. For the week, my gross pay was $1,868 for 54 hours of work. If we break that down to a typical hourly job, it would be 40 regular hours and 14 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $30.83 per hour. Straight hourly pay would be $34.77 per hour. Year-to-date, I've earned $50,869 for 1,304 hours worked. Out of those hours, 949 would be regular time, and 354 would be overtime. If we calculate it weekly with overtime, the effective pay rate is $34.35 per hour. However, as straight time, it's approximately $39.02 per hour. Taking a look at the if-only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page, 24 weeks have went by so far. That totals 4,032 hours. I have been at home 718 of those hours. That works out to 3,314 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 24 is $50,869. That works out to $15.35 per hour away from home. As always, make sure you're enjoying every day at work.